Hello and welcome to our podcast, Connecting and Supporting Others. I am Mira Reiss and I am delighted to have you here with us. Enjoy! Hello everybody from beautiful Isle of Man, and I am very pleased today we have special guest, Kylee. She is actually business coach and much more. Welcome Kylee here.
Thank you for having me, and I'm just admiring your beautiful day that you're having.
Yeah, we are really lucky. So hopefully you'll come to you as well. So could you tell a little bit more? I just said that you are a business coach, but I know that you are much more. So share please with us a little bit.
Yes, I am a business coach. I work with two others actually. So I've got a coaching company, and there's two elements to our company. We work with people that are trying to leave their 9 to 5 and transition out, and want to build their own company. So we work with them on their mindset to be able to put them in the right place to be able to launch that company. For a lot of people, by the time they get to that point, there's already things that have happened in their lives that are holding them back. So a lot of the clients that we work with, for example, may have some like limiting beliefs about themselves. I'm not good enough, I'm not capable enough, other people own businesses, not me. Those type of thoughts that they've had about themselves. It might potentially have confidence issues, so worried that maybe that they're lacking in confidence when maybe talking to new clients or trying to build up that the marketing and advertising side of their company. A lot of people come to us with obvious fears about setting up their own company. What happens if I fail? When we start talking to people, they've already gone to the worst case scenario, that the business has failed and they've lost their home and they're out on the streets. So there's a lot of mindset work to do, first of all. So we work with people with their mindset, but then we also work with people on the actual business strategy. So working with your branding, your niching, how to get in front of the right clients, your advertising, your marketing. I've actually got a legal background, so we do some legals as well, like helping you prepare your contracts and your tax, how to register the company. So it's an all-inclusive package from that side. And then we also work with corporations and trying to build mental health awareness in work, and trying to help organizations help their employees thrive. So building building a company culture that they can be proud of. People feel that they're supported and they're encouraged and they're nurtured, and it's keeping that morale and that motivation high. And obviously the benefit there is to the employee, keeping them happy, keeping them, thriving. But then to the organization, if you've got happy employees and people feel supported and appreciated, then they're going to be loyal. That means that you're going to get more productivity, higher performance. So it's the corporation side is my real baby. To be part of building that sort of culture and making mental health awareness something that we can talk about so openly in organizations is something that I feel very passionately about.
Yeah, definitely. It's very important. Actually, I like, your approach, because our mindset, especially in this time when people are aware what's going on and they are, they are not sure. It's very, very important, because we are carrying our old, habits, we are afraid, we were said when we were children, oh, you are not good enough, you have to do this and this. And I do believe everybody has these great gifts to share with others, but we don't believe ourselves. So you do great job, to support people, to build their self-confidence, because I think it's very, very important, to realize that we all are ready to do what we're supposed to do. And second part, I do love as well, actually, our last guest was Nick Elston. I don't know if you know him, he's from England. and he's very famous, international, like motivational speaker, inspirational. And actually he's trying to support people to talk about their mental health, because some people don't want, it's like taboo, you know, I'm okay, I'm healthy, I don't want to. So it's great, you know, that people are aware about this, that it's normal. Everybody, we have mental health, we have all health, you know, like physical, mental, emotional. And we are here to talk about this and to clean it and to realize that it's just normal not to feel confident. And everybody is like vulnerable. We have times when we are not very good. So, and supporting corporation in this to build you know, mental health coaching, it's very, very important, because how you said, when we employ people who are not well, our company doesn't work well. So it's like, where everything is interconnected. So I do like what we are doing. It's a great job. Yeah.
Thank you. And there's such a stigma still about talking about mental health in the workplace. And the thing that surprises me the most is that companies are still very slow realizing the detriment to their own organization about not talking about this and not having an open framework and a supportive framework around mental health. People still feel very awkward talking to their colleagues, or if you're a senior, talking to their employees, members of their team, about their mental health and how to approach that. But it has such a massive impact on our organizations. People suffering from mental health issues, whether that's stress, whether that's anxiety, actual ill mental health, it comes to the company in three ways. Absenteeism, so employees being actually off from work. It comes from staff turnover, so people leaving because they don't feel supported, or there isn't that framework to be able to support them and work through this with them. And something else called presenteeism, which is when you're actually at work, but your body might be physically there, but your mind isn't. So you're not concentrating, you don't have that focus. And that actually costs companies more.
Yep.
Presenteeism costs the exact same amount as what absenteeism and staff turnover does to companies. And companies are leaving money on the table by not embracing mental health. And I think where we are now, after what we've had with COVID and people being at home, feeling very isolated, that team structure being really dented, and that communication not being there, I think now more than ever, we need to wake our organizations up about making this a really open conversation.
Yeah, definitely. I do agree with you. And really, it's the best timing now, because all is going around us. And there are some researchers that they say that people have trouble to come back to, let's say, normal life. You know, they were working from home, and now they have, you know, anxiety to come and to talk. And this, like, let's say, what's going on, it's making a lot of troubles on all levels. Like, people are more afraid maybe sometimes about future regarding their mental health, but some of them don't even realize there is mental health, you know, that they need to work with this. They're afraid, they're ashamed to talk about this. But I think it's time to go out and to tell people, don't be worried. Everybody has the trouble. We just need to talk about this. And actually, I just use trouble, but in my vocabulary, I prefer to use lessons, because everything what we take like negativity in our life is actually for us a huge opportunity to grow. Because when we don't have these negativities, nothing happens. You know, we will be sitting like a rose in the garden and not develop. So when we change our mindset and take everything like, oh yeah, this I need to learn some stuff, and I am ready, I have ability to cope with this, our life could be much easier, more happiest. Yeah. So
I mean, I couldn't agree more with you. And I think we can all relate to days where maybe you've been a bit emotional at work and maybe you've taken five and gone to the bathroom so that no one could see that you were sad, or you had tears, or that you were frustrated, um, and you feel like that you need to hide that. There might even be days where maybe you've booked a fake meeting because you just feel like you need a day to yourself, but don't feel like you can communicate that. Where if we have more open dialogue, and it would be okay to say, I'm feeling this way, or this has made me feel this way. I'm feeling, stressed about this situation, or my communication with this person isn't right and it's impacting me. If we could have these more open conversations and it be okay, and there be no fear of what's going to come out of that, you being deemed maybe unproductive or not capable, or, that you're being unreasonable. If these kind of fears were put to the bay, and that companies and organizations embraced a new sort of culture where we could have these open dialogues, we could have this type of emotionally intelligent communication, it would make such a different platform.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, in this way, it's very important, but it's not so easy when you were, whole life keeping backwards and saying nothing about it. But maybe when people start to realize that that not only them are in this trouble, they can talk and then realize that everybody around is the same, we are all in the same boat, but maybe it needs somebody who will start to talk about this like first. Yeah. Okay, so maybe now we can go to our questions, if you are
Sure.
okay. Yep. So,
absolutely.
Okay, so would you like to share more about your story, or you think you?
Yeah.
Great.
I actually started off in the legal profession. I had done my degree, my master's, and in the UK we have a course called the LPC, which is to qualify as a solicitor. So I had gone down that route. I thought my path was very much sorted, that I was going to practice law and that would be it. And I found that once I was in the legal industry, I found it very difficult. I found the culture within the companies very difficult. And I found that, and I can only speak for, my own experiences, but I found that there was more of a focus on the amount of billable hours that I had done, so that, the money that was coming in, rather than the actual quality of the work that was going out towards the clients. And although I appreciate that obviously you're a business and that you need to make money, and billable hours and what you're bringing in is an important part of it, I really struggled with people just being numbers. And that wasn't why I wanted to go into law. I wanted to go into law because I really wanted to make a difference. And so I ended up sidestepping, and I worked within like hedge funds and other financial institutions, in as an EA and in compliance, and I wasn't fulfilled because that isn't how I started my journey. So I actually found coaching. I'd kind of done sort of an assessment of myself and was just like, I need to change a few things. I need to go back and I need to find something that's going to bring me the fulfillment that I'm looking for. So I found coaching and I retrained, took my coaching accreditation and NLP, emotional intelligence, and then started off on my coaching journey. And it was quite an easy transition for me. I know that other coaches sometimes struggle to find their niche and where they should be, but I was always very clear that I wanted to still stay in the professional sort of corporate realm. And I'm lucky enough that I found two incredible business partners, and we were able to bring all our past experiences, all our past knowledge and skills together to be able to create the company and the package that we can for our clients. And even leaving the corporate stuff aside and working with the organizations, it is such a joy and it is such a privilege to be able to work with the clients that we do and see them come to us with a notion of, I'm not happy in my career, I'm not feeling fulfilled, I think I'd like to work for myself. Because that's where some of our clients are. They don't even have a business idea when by the time they reach us. They're like, I think I want to work for myself, but I'm just not sure. And to see people flourish, both with their mindset, in their confidence, how they're feeling about themselves, how they're approaching things, new behaviors and patterns they're developing, and then see them to go on to build a company and see that their successes, and just to be a small part of that, is an absolute joy and privilege from our point of view.
Yeah, it's definitely great, because actually you can use your own experiences when you were, not very happy, not very fulfilled, with your job. And now I think it's the best way how we can coach to support others, because we went through the same situation. And that you can bring your enthusiasms, your experience to the life, to the other people. It's amazing. Yeah. Okay, so you actually said a little bit about your mission, but maybe do you want to say a little bit more? What is your true calling? Or
Yeah, I mean, in terms of working with individuals and setting up their own companies, the mission is to see other people living life on their terms, to see them happy and fulfilled and having a lifestyle that they're proud of. And by no means is owning your own company easy. And I certainly wouldn't ever beat that drum and say that it is. It's not. It takes a lot of hard work and there's a lot of pressure, especially because you're accountable, especially if you're in business by yourself and you're a sole trader, you're solely accountable. And that can be a bit of a lonely journey at times, which again is why the mindset is so important, that you're in the right place to be able to tackle those obstacles and tackle the hard times that are going to come up, and that you've got the toolkit to be able to do that. But the mission is to see people living life on their terms, to see that fulfillment and that joy. And it doesn't matter whatever service that you're bringing, but for them to be able to then experience the joy of seeing their clients benefit from their services, and that there's this knock-on effect, how we've helped someone then knocks onto their clients and then to their clients. It's as I say, it really truly is a privilege, but the goal is to see people live life on their terms.
yeah,
We've got one shot at this life,
yeah,
and to see people stuck and feel lost and miserable because they're in a job, because they have to pay the bills, and that's all that they've known and that's all that they can see, and that life seems quite bleak because of that. And to be able to give someone the ability to do something that they love, because I'd never say, I mean, when you set up a company, it's got to be something that you're passionate about and that you love, because there's going to be hard times ahead, and it's that passion that carries you forward. But to see people doing things that they're passionate about every day, and it brings them that fulfillment, and they now get to carve out how they live their life, what hours they're doing and how they're applying themselves, that's on their terms now. And as I can only keep repeating it, the magic of seeing that happen for someone and their lives transforming, it's everything. I can't put it into words. It's everything to see that happen for other people.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, my aim is kind of support people to use their, let's say, unique talents, because I believe everybody, we have special gifts, special talents, which we have here to serve and to support others. Some people are sometimes stuck, so I'm empowering them to reveal these special gifts I have special tools for this. And when they found it and they start to use it in the life, they're like the passionate. I think it's only one way how to have a successful business and life, when you do what you really, when you follow your heart, you know, your true calling. So it's a great job what you are doing. Yeah, great. Okay, so now we can go to the other question. Actually, you are very young, but I will try. This question is that image that you have a superpower and you can travel back in the time and you can meet yourself when you were some years younger and you have ability to give advice to yourself. What kind of advice you will give?
So I'm 36.
Yeah.
So I am very lucky that, you know, I came to the realizations, I guess, early enough that I could feel that I could do something about it, because we've got quite a few clients that are in their 50s, 60s and say to us, well, I felt like I've wasted the years. I've been too old to do anything about it. And obviously our attitude is there's no age on this.
Yeah.
Like, you can change and do something whatever age you want.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I probably would go back to my much younger self when I was probably about 16, 17, and thinking about degrees and what I wanted to study at university. And I very much was in the mindset of, I've got to do something that's, you know, sensible, and it's going to lead to a particular sort of career, and it's got to do this and it's got to do that. And one of the reasons I did love law, and it's why I ended up down the legal path. But I think I would have told myself to actually study something that I really loved. There were a couple of things that I was toying with, and I was toying with the idea of maybe doing archaeology.
Mhm.
And, you know, I was thinking, well, what could I really do with that? I'm wasting my time doing a degree along those lines. And I wish I had studied something that I was truly, truly passionate about.
Yeah.
I would have figured out the rest along the way. But if I was going to go back and give myself any advice at that point, it would have been to do something that I was truly, truly loved and wanted to study, and not have the thoughts of money and being a sensible adult in my head and potentially blocking my views. And for the rest of it, I think once I was in my career, it would have been actually to trust my gut instincts.
Yeah.
Because the amount of times I talked myself out of things or doing things that I should have done, for example, making career changes sooner and speaking up sooner about how I was really feeling. I knew deep down that I wasn't happy. My gut used to scream at me like, this isn't right, this isn't for you. And the amount of times that I talked myself out of those situations. So it would have been to listen, at that point, it would have been to listen to my gut instincts.
Oh, great advice. Yeah. I think each young person, if knew this before starting career, is very important actually, you know, but we are forced very often with parents and society to do this, but it's very, very important to follow our heart. I do agree with you. And now we go to the last question. You have our other superpower. It's a lovely sunny day like we have now here, but you have power to make a rain. You are a rainmaker. So it's sunshine, but it's rain. So we have a huge rainbow in the sky. And everybody who is ready to receive your advice can look on this rainbow, and you will put your vibration there and people can receive it. What kind of message you will put in this rainbow?
Oh, what a beautiful question. I don't actually think it'd be too dissimilar to what I just said, because most of our clients that come to us have had feelings for years that they've wanted to do something, they've wanted to change something, but they have felt pressures, whether that's pressures they've put on themselves or what family or society have put pressures on them to do. You know, that you should stick at a 9 to 5 job. That's what sensible people do. You know, owning your own business, it's too risky. That's a calculated risk. That's not something like someone like you does. And they feel that, you know, having that regular income is the sensible thing to do in terms of providing for their family or providing for them. So my advice would be, listen to your gut, listen to your body, listen to yourself. If you know that something isn't right for you, you know that you're not feeling happy, you know that you want to change, and even if you don't know what those changes are, give yourself space. Sit with yourself, whether that's you take 5 minutes a day just to sit in pure and utter silence. And when I mean silence, I mean silence. No television, no, I'm going to go walking the dog, or I'm going out for a walk, because that's walking and that's walking the dog. I mean, sit down with yourself in pure, utter silence and ask yourself, what do I want? What makes me happy? What's going to put a smile on my face? What does a successful day look like to me? Start asking yourself questions that you would never normally give yourself the space to answer, but give yourself that space. And whether it takes a week or months or even a year of doing that, but allow yourself that space so that you can make that change, whatever it is, that you can follow through on what you want to do, because we're here for such a short space of time. Life is so short. Don't go through it doing something that you don't want to do and being miserable, because there's always options. There are always options. But give yourself that space to get to know yourself and to understand what your mind and your body is trying to tell you.
Yeah, definitely. I love your advices. Actually, you know, I think my aim is like support people, you know, to work with their energy, with their vibration, and to reconnect their head with their brain, with their heart as much as possible, to find the, you know, time when we can listen ourselves, not what is everybody around trying to say us, and follow our own inner wisdom, which everybody we have. Yeah. Okay.
We so often ignore it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay, so I think it was very, very nice talk, and I love to, if we can continue in the future, we can find special topic, because I think we can exchange a lot of experience together and help others. So thank you very, very much. And
no, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice time.